I forgot to put an exclamation point in my title. Ah, no. Ah, I fixed it. Give it a minute for people to join before we start the game. This is going to be a really informal stream. It's not like a scheduled one or anything. Just my capture card came way earlier than anticipated, and I want to test it out in action throughout my different, try my different screen things for, we got top screen for 3DS stuff. We got both screens equal for 3DS stuff. We got small 3DS layout. We got just the DS top screen, which is at a different aspect ratio, hence it being slightly different. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory stuff, including a bottom screen one that we'll seldom use. This is indeed the bottom screen of my 3DS, though. 2DS. I don't think it matters. This thing's really cool. So I'm just gonna click into the stream there. If you have any, if you notice any, issues with the video or audio, I just got this thing today. I spent the last, couple hours trying to get it set up, making my OBS profiles for it and whatnot. Getting an audio to stop making me want to die. Yeah, it was all a bit of a process, but hey, it works, and I'm happy with the results so far. I think it's a very pleasant little device, and I'm happy I have one. Very, very colorful, Sawyer. That is kind of the point. I just love this game. Sonic Colors DS is super good. And it's not one I've played. I messed around with it. It's what I was using to set up the stream, or to set up DS settings on here. Yeah, delete story mode data so I can start the game over for the stream. But yeah, if you guys notice any issues with the audio or the video, just let me know. 2DS capture card is weird because it's just barely comfortable, and the way it's laid out, the micro USB cable, or mini USB rather, is right by it's right under my finger. The DS version's basically Sonic Rush 3, but I haven't played Sonic Rush 1 or 2. This is really impressive looking for DS FMV, for the record. It's the Wii cutscene, but it looks really, really good. They did a nice job of putting it onto a DS. I don't have any filters or anything running on this, so it's not going to look quite modern. I don't believe in filters for retro game footage. I think it looks tacky and dumb. I guess I wouldn't really call DS or 3DS, especially 3DS, to be retro consoles exactly, but let's skip this. I don't need this. View the tutorial? Nah, I've played this game. I've beaten it once or twice. I don't know. It is a very good game, though, and we're going to check out why. This is one of the few games, I guess the Rush series in general, is one of the few games I've played where it really is not only that it uses both screens, but that, they share the exact same action. The top screen and the bottom screen in this game are both really necessary, since, the top screen has half the action and the bottom screen Sonic will randomly transition to whenever he's going in that direction. I don't know why I'm bothering to roll, because it doesn't really do any good in this game. We cannot boost yet, because we have not unlocked White Wisps, so instead we are playing this more or less like a classic Sonic game with some of the boost controls. So we have the slide that we won't use because I always forget about it. It's on R, it's right there. We have the spin dash, which is useless whenever the boost exists, and the stomp, and the homing attack, and that's pretty much your lot. Most of these are not in the Rush games, to my knowledge. They are just carryovers from Unleashed and Colors Wii, which is cool. But yeah, this is such a cool game, and I know you could always emulate it, so I'm not going to say there's not a ton of coverage of it or anything on YouTube, because, DS emulation's really, really reliable and good at this point. But I haven't seen as much coverage of this game as of the Wii version, which makes sense, because, recording DS games isn't nearly as accessible. It's kind of a nightmare, even if you have, the necessary equipment and hardware to do it. Red rings, not worried about getting those. I am going to try and go for the Chaos Emeralds. This isn't going to be, I don't even know if we're going to get through the whole game. I'm going to stream it for, an hour or two, and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm just excited. This capture card was supposed to come in a couple of weeks from now, November 9th to December 13th or something was the predicted arrival date. And knowing Katsukitty, the people behind this card, I was expecting it to be, you know, months and months. Because, I mean, their stuff used to be, like, unreliable junk. Now, apparently, it's pretty good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent my money on their stuff. Hey, gold ring. But, their wait times are always something they're infamous for. But they have an Amazon store page now, so I just got it off there, and yeah, I had it within, like, 3 days. Special stages in this game are cool. I think I can just use the bottom screen. But basically, we are, it's stylus controlled, and we have to do what the game says to do there. So we are moving Sonic left and right. I didn't mean to get those, I love these special stages, though. They're really good. They're the Sonic 2 special stages, but kind of Sonic Heroes-esque in the sense that we're getting orbs. But these are super, super fun. Mostly because of how incredibly precise the controls are as a result of using the touchscreen. The risk with hitting the orbs of the wrong color is that you will knock them away, and then they are not available to get whenever you have to get that color, because you have to go through and get each of the colors necessary. We're doing fine. We got 95 out of 60 required for this particular color. We knocked away like 3 or 4 of the other orbs. We're gonna be fine. But I do like touchscreen controls for things like this. It's just so incredibly precise. Much more so than in the other half-pipe special stages across the series. Now we're going for the blue orbs. You can tell because they're flashing, and also because the game told us to. And also the top screen, which I don't have on display right now, is lit up blue and shows our counter for how many we have. But yeah, other than the stylus kind of getting in the way of your view, these special stages are super good. They're basically the same as in Rush 1, except in Rush 1, I think they were actually, like, even more Sonic 2-esque, like you were collecting rings in them. Whereas here, you're obviously doing more of the Sonic Heroes deal. I'm just going to let it ride out. Like, I don't see any need to put in unnecessary effort. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to come for a while. My original thought was, oh, December, when this comes in, we're going to do Sonic Lost World 3DS, but now that's moved up to be immediately after we're done with Heroes. I just wanted to make sure that this capture unit was working well with OBS. It didn't want to cooperate earlier, but once I reset my PC, it was all good. And yeah, I think it seems like it's pretty good. Obviously, the only way I'm going to find that out is through chat on the stream, but it's off to a promising start, if nothing else. Pop that stylus back in because I don't really need it now. While Sonic does a cute little animation for us on the top screen. Very, I don't know, Sonic-y of him, I guess. He's a boastful man, he can't help it. The special stages are kind of boring, actually, to try and talk over. They're not very interesting. This game's a lot shorter than the Wii version on account of it being a DS game, I guess, so no complaints about the length. It's just, it is indeed shorter. No, I do not want the tutorial. I don't even know what the tutorial is of. I can now boost, so I guess it was about wisps. But yeah, unlike in some of the other Boost games, Sonic Colors and Sonic Forces is the only other one I think that has this feature. Well, not that I think, that I know has this feature. The boost gauge is filled up exclusively by white wisps. You have to boost here or you'll die, I assume. I don't know. Once you unlock the boost, it becomes a little bit boost to win, I'm not gonna lie. But I think it's enough of a balance between, like, boost to win and actual, like, proper gameplay that it works out. This game is like a perfect balance. Remember when it came out and it got better reviews than the Wii version, and I was like, no way, and I didn't play it when it came out, so I had no idea. I still think I prefer the Wii version, but this is a very good game. It is one of my favorite games on the DS, without a doubt. Again, I haven't played the Sonic Rush games, which is pretty much what this is, so for all I know, that would be more my speed. But, that was pitiful, Sonic. The control in this game is very Sonic 4-esque, probably because it runs on the same engine. So yeah, you know, he loses momentum if you just spin dash and jump. As you can see. You also have to hold forward constantly, even when you're boosting, or else Sonic will just stop dead in his tracks, which is pretty weird, and I don't know about that. Like, it's a very strange control scheme. But, I mean, it is functional. I get why they did it. It's because you're going so fast with the boost, you have to have a little more control over Sonic's movements, or at least that's how they felt. I just don't know that I agree. I was trying to roll and boost there to carry momentum, but it didn't work. I do like the inclusion of the homing attack. It's not super good in this game because it has a little bit of a cooldown after use, but it does work well enough to be, like, you know, entertaining. And that Wisp capsule marks the end of the level. Again, I don't know what else to say about Sonic Colors DS other than that it's really good, so I'm just going to stop talking about the game itself and ramble about other stuff. No, we do not want to redo the special stage. There are 7 zones in the game and 7 special stages, so that kind of works out, I think. There are missions in addition to the main acts of the stage. I'm not going to worry about doing the missions. I have done all the missions, but I deleted that save file in order to do the stream because I just care very little. So now we're going to be moving on to the boss, skipping the cutscene because I just don't care right now. The bosses in this game are cool. They're all 3D, whereas everything else is a mix of like pre-rendered and 3D, and they are completely different than those of the Wii version, which is very, very cool. This Wii version will also be streamed on this channel, just not yet. I will get to it, though. If it's not obvious, it actually, the game runs at a lower frame rate during boss fights. They run at 30 instead of 60. I don't know why. I guess because it's all 3D instead of partially 3D. So I guess I do know why, in theory. That was pathetic, Sonic. Yeah, I do want to do like all the Sonic games, so that includes like the DS and 3DS ones, which is what finally drove me to buying a 3DS capture card. We're gonna do the Sonic Rivals games. I have my PSP and its component cables and all that fun stuff that we'll get to, but meh. Orbot and Cubot just existing. The cutscenes are a lot more interesting when they're actually cutscenes instead of just still frames, which is why I'm skipping them. I'm not super into still frames. Like, they're fine. I get it, it's a DS game, but there's the Rocket Wisp. Touch a Wisp. Look, we touched a Wisp. The only one that was on screen, in fact. The stylus support is located right below the mini USB cable. Kind of freaks me out. But let's start. Starlight Carnival is a lot less visually impressive in this version than the Wii version, but it is still a pretty nice level to play through. At least as I recall, we did totally miss the top and obviously preferable, whichever you want to say. I think preferable makes a lot more sense, actually. But the obviously better path route through the stage, however you want to phrase that. Because instead we were taking the low route because I wasn't paying attention, because I don't know. I just wasn't. It's kind of how it works. There's the slide that I always forget about, and I feel like they don't give enough notice because it's so infrequently used in this game. The Wisps work pretty much as you'd expect, by the way. They are... Well, the ones that are in the Wii and DS version, with a few exceptions that I'll get into, are more or less identical between the versions. Even if they operate slightly differently, they have the same general effect. Grinding's kind of pointless in this game since all it basically is running, but that's okay. I'm not sure why they bothered even implementing it, because like even in the advanced games and in the Rush games, I know you could do tricks off of them and off the grind rails, and in the advanced games they actually did have like distinctly different vibe to how they control. But here, you're just going forward and probably boosting. Well, that was unfortunate and cheap, I think. But yeah, grinding's just like, you're still moving forward. You do move quicker on grind rails for whatever reason, but I genuinely don't know why you would, but you do, so that's a thing, I guess. But yeah, the Rocket Wisp just launches you straight up, and then whenever you come out of the Rocket Wisp, you go into a free fall. I didn't there because I was catapulted all over the place and whatnot. If you screwed that timing up, you'll die. But I didn't, so I didn't die. Which I know is pretty invigorating commentary, to be sure. But that is exactly what just happened. But if you do screw that timing up, obviously, it is still operating on basically classic Sonic rules. So that would be a one-hit death. As is the norm for Sonic. Man, you go really fast on grind rails. Most of the time when you're using a Wisp, you are impervious to enemy attacks and the like. Not all the time. I guess it just sort of depends on the Wisp in question, but for the most part, you are. But that was the end of Starlight Carnival Act 1. Which has such good music. It really does. I love Sonic Color soundtrack to death. Even if the 3DS version has... Or, yeah, not 3DS version. Even if the DS version has worse music, it's still a great soundtrack. Yeah, playing this on a 2DS always reminds me... Well, not always reminds me. It's the first time I've played this game on a 2DS. But the 2DS is weird because it actually has one screen. But it just splits the image between them. I mean, that works. There's no problem with that. It's a cost-cutting measure. It's just the whole thing's one big touchscreen, and it just has a split in the middle. And you just sort of ignore the split in the middle. You can't tell that it's only one screen, but if you know, you can actually see it. But it's just the one instead of being two distinct different LCDs, like on every other DS line console, which is, you know, unique. The 2DS is just the budget one. It's why I have it as my capture modded unit, because other than just getting an original DS modded, this is the cheapest way to do it. I could have had one of my other 3DSs that I already own modded for this, but A, that would have taken forever, and B, I wanted to have a, like, dedicated device for it. I'm timing this so very well. There we go. You could not homing attack capsules in the Wii version of this game, so it's kind of cool that you can in the DS version. I am a fan of that. That went well. I'm not a big fan of the sound effects of the Rush era games. Like, they just sound weird, like the boost and everything. Like, the ring sound, the jump sound, they're all, you know, Sonic sound effects. But, like, the spring sounds weird, and the boost sound effect, I don't know, I don't hate it, it's fine, but... I would actually argue the only Rush game I've ever played, because I don't have the other Rush games. I'll get them now that I have a means of recording and streaming DS and 3DS stuff. I'll get them for the channel. But I just never found the Rush games all too interesting looking. I messed around with the first one a little bit, but I don't own it. I mean, I guess I always could have emulated the... Oh, that went well. Homing attack reticle. Thanks for that. I guess I always could have just emulated, but I don't like emulation. So... You know, I just played through all of Sonic Colors for a video I'm working on, which is, or not Sonic Colors, I'm playing Sonic Colors. I just played through all of Sonic Forces for a video I'm working on about Sonic Forces, you know, aptly enough. It's basically covering the game about a year after its launch. It's going to go up on the 1-year anniversary of the game's release. And you know what? It's somehow better and worse than I remember it. Sonic Forces is such a weird game. Like, I still kind of generally like it, but there's so much wrong with it. Like a stunning degree. Am I gonna get hit by that flying egg guy? Yep. At least you didn't kill me. This isn't boring. This is the most interesting level design. At least I can hit down in time with the music. I have to get the Sonic Boom 3DS games too. I've heard pretty good things about Fire and Ice. I mean, I haven't played it, but I've heard generally good things about it. I played the demo of Shattered Crystal and thought it was fine, but then I've seen the structural issues, so. New Super Mario Brothers Wii's weird, like, elevator log riding levels were terrible too, though. I just hate segments like that. This almost looks like a gun on that ship. Okay, Tails, probably because it is. This is one of the bosses that is reused between the Wii and DS versions, but it does operate differently enough that I think that's okay. Try and get under him so that whenever he drops those stupid capsules, I can hit into him. Timing on this is really weird, because the DS Sonic games in general have like this really weird effect with how the top and bottom screens relate to each other. And Sonic's dead. Why would they have rings lined up right where you cannot possibly get them? I guess because Dimps, you know. That sounds right. Dimps being the production team behind the Rush games, as well as a few other games that we'll get to. Lost World 3DS is coming right after Heroes, at least according to plan right now. So, yeah, we'll be getting to them. I need rings. Well, I said I needed rings, and I was absolutely right. You can get rings out of these yellow capsule things, I think, if you just homing attack them into the ground, but instead I'm knocking them into him to damage the boss. Because, you know, that's kind of important. I do want rings. I'm going to let that hit the ground and get the rings from it. Or I can not get the rings from it because I run into the thing. Pocket Adventure actually is planned. I want to buy a copy. I don't need a Neo Geo Pocket Color, but I want to own a copy before I emulate it. I mean, I've played through the game. It's just a slightly different Sonic 2 with Sonic 3 music. I like Pocket Adventure a lot, actually, but I don't like emulating stuff at all, and I won't stream that until I own a copy. It's a cheap game. It's not expensive at all, so I'll get to it. It's just a matter of when. I even want to do, like, you know, Sonic Jam on the Gamecom. I want to do on stream eventually. Like, you know, I want this to be a very extensive Sonic the Hedgehog stream series on YouTube. Like, I want to be one of those nutcases like Great Clement style who goes through literally every Sonic game known to man. At least, like, all the feasible ones. Like, I'm not worried about doing, like, Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car or whatever. Like, stuff that's absolutely just unrealistic to expect to do. But, oh no, he's dead. He's not dead because he still has health. How is it he still has health? I think you have to hit him with the Wisp for his last hit, actually. I don't actually remember. I could be totally wrong because I haven't played this game in forever. Again, other than goofing around with it today for the sake of setting up my capture card. Is it dead? How is he not dead? I hit him. Oh, I have to wait till he's down, then I have to hit him. Wow, I'm doing terrible. Hey man, it was one of IGN's best Sonic reviews in the sense that they called the game good when it was good. Doesn't matter if they overstated how good it was and if the review made no actual sense. At least they tried. I'm really struggling for no reason to kill him. He just does not want to. I'm going to do a thing on Sonic Flash games, like memorable ones eventually. So that includes that weird Sonic Rivals Flash game that was like similar to the Shadow one. The Shadow one. That weird like Sonic Advance 2 one that was really, really good. Yeah, no, the Sonic Flash games. Not like every Sonic Flash game, because, you know, there's literally like hundreds of them. But the ones that are Sega made and some of the other ones. On to the next zone, though. Or I guess not. Didn't we kill the boss? What do we have to do now? Oh, Sweet Mountain. I forgot Sweet Mountain existed. Okay, that's where we have to go. I have to touch the Wisp first, which is always a fun thing to do. Hey, look, I touched the Wisp. Sonic Mega Collection Mini. Which one is that? The name rings a bell. I mean, I know Mega Collection, obviously. When that stream comes closer, I'm gonna, that won't be until, like, early next year, probably, but I do want to do that one. Probably on April Fool's. It'll be, like, that week's Sonic stream. I'm gonna have a, like, pay a channel for it on my Discord for everyone to drop links to the ones they want me to do. Because, I mean, my streams average, like, 2 hours, so I'm gonna need a bunch of them. There's only a handful of actually good Sonic Flash games. I mean, there's one that I'm actually thinking of that was really good. Hey, look, also, this is one of the best levels in the Wii version, but it's super mediocre in this version. Like, it's fine. It's just not nearly as special. Sonic Colors is awesome, Sonic Reborn. I've not played this version in forever, but I needed something to test my 3DS capture unit, and I figured, hey, why not make it a Sonic stream and just kill two birds with one stone? I still have tomorrow's Sonic stream. In fact, the Team Dark stream for Heroes is going to be split into two, probably, across tomorrow and Thursday, because Team Dark it takes forever. So, you know, look forward to that. And then next week is Sonic R, because Halloween and spooky, and I don't know. I thought it would be funny. Hopefully I'm right, and it's not just irritating. Or it can be both. If it's funny and irritating, I'll take that as a win, you know? I think I remember Sonic Mega Collection Mini-ish, but I genuinely don't know. It's been forever since I've actively wanted to play Sonic Flash games. So, when I was in, like, elementary school, though, that was my jam. Like, I'd be booting up the computers every day to play that Sonic Rivals one, even though that was awful. And the Shadow the Hedgehog one, even though that was awful. And the Ultimate Sonic Flash whatever, which was really good and very obviously made by a Sega employee, I think. Like, there's no way that wasn't a marketing scheme for Advance 2. It's way too polished to be anything else, I think. I could be wrong. It'd be cooler if I was wrong. Some of the mechanics from the console boost games feel really out of place and weird in this game. Bye, Sonic. Oh, I thought he died. This game does have a fair few bottomless pits because, you know, dimps. But for the most part, it actually handles this level design pretty well. Again, I haven't played the Rush games, but if they're anywhere near as fun as this one, like, I really should. I'll get to them. Currently, I am just trying to find a cheap enough copy of Knuckles Chaotix that I can have ready for stream when my... It's funny, I ordered a bunch of different things for the channel, and the capture unit was supposed to be last. I spent, like, way too much money on everything because I'm a perfectionist about audio and video quality. We'll have to redo a Starlight Carnival level if we want to get all the Chaos Emeralds in this stream, but I kind of do want to. I should have switched the view for you guys to just bottom screen, but I can do that in the transition between. Or you guys can just see both screens if you want to. That's up to everyone in the chat. Because I have, like, a preset for... Oh, that's awful. No, stop. Okay. See, that's the last thing we want. Because basically the way these special stages work, if you hit the wrong color orb, they go away, and then you don't have them to use later. I will say this is one of my favorite set of special stages in all of Sonic, though. They're just very entertaining, which is not something I can normally say about special stages. I do not like special stages. Ultimate Flash Sonic was incredible when it came out, though. Like, for what it was, super, super good. Just switch it to that view. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, I think this is a better view for the special stages. I like to have things like as streamlined as possible, so if it's just like random clutter on the top screen, I don't think you guys want to see. I mean, if you want to, I can always put it back. It doesn't matter. But all it really shows is that I have 54 out of the 70 orbs we need. And now we have 66 of the needed. And now we are over what we need. And I'm just going for bonus orbs because I can. I do want to ignore some of the bonus stuff, though, because we don't need it yet. You cannot jump during these special stages, though. That is, like, the one thing that makes them moderately difficult in some of the later ones, but not really. Because, again, you have such precise control of Sonic. Yeah, I'm just going to switch between, like, on the fly as needed. Because it takes me 2 seconds to do. Like, literally, in less than 2 seconds. It's just a mouse click away. So... whenever I'm playing, whatever, I didn't need those red ones anyway. Whenever I'm playing a stage, I'll have it obviously on the 2-screen view so you guys can actually see me playing the game. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a very enjoyable stream for over half of it. Need a few more. I actually do need to rely on these special orb at the end, but we're good. We got the Chaos Emerald. Nice. When I do, like, some of the... Like, a lot of the other Sonic games don't use the bottom screen at all. The DS ones all do, to my knowledge, but the 3DS ones do not. At least not the ones I've played. I don't know about the Boom games. Even then, I don't think they do. I think they just display the characters on the bottom. But I know for a fact Generations and Lost World, which are the ones I'm more concerned about. Again, I'll get to Boom. Probably Fire and Ice first, because it looks good, and I want to play it. But, like, when I get to them, I'll figure out what their deal is. But what do you guys think of the audio and video quality so far? It should be fine. Like, I mean, it's not overly difficult to set up, but I did have some, not issues, just... They don't provide any instructions, really. They tell you how to download the software to use the 3DS capture, but the way it works is kind of awkward. Also, Burst is a good Wisp. My favorite version of it's actually in Sonic Forces, because I think Sonic Forces uses the Wisps. Probably my favorite way of any of the games in the series, in the sense that they're all optional, pretty much. Not pretty much. They are all optional, except for White Wisps, I guess. Quit launching me into that. I do not want to be launched into spikes. Jesus Christ. Okay. Just making my way downtown, bouncing fast. Alright. The air boost is really powerful in this game compared to like some of the console games. I wouldn't say it's as overpowered as in Sonic Forces though, because in Sonic Forces it's like utterly broken. Because it almost operates like this one, but, you know, in 3D, which is just hilarious. I can always turn up the game audio, though. How's that? Because that's my main thing, is trying to make sure the audio for the game and the video... I know the video looks fine. I spent long enough getting that set up, and then I realized that USB video through one of these capture cards, or USB audio through one of these capture cards is garbage, because it is tied directly to the frame rate. And my frame rate's going to dip between 60 and like 55, 56, because, hey, I am streaming. I'm running the viewer software, and I'm running OBS. It's going to dip a little bit when I'm doing all that and streaming. But the audio is tied directly to that if you use the audio through there. So instead I had to run the audio through my PC, which is fine by me. I don't care. But it does mean that, A, I had to find an aux cable, which took me like an hour. because I need the one that's connected to my headphones, obviously, so I can hear myself and the game. I don't know. Long story short, I think it was worth it. I think everything looks and sounds good, assuming I got it good. But yeah, just let me know if that's a little bit better for the audio level. I'm just going to save like my 3DS audio preset, because it should be the same across all games, and if it isn't, that's whatever. I do like the sort of pseudo boost effect you get whenever you hit speed boost in this game. Like, you will kill enemies for like a second or so after hitting a dash panel, which in other games you are just vulnerable. I'm assuming it's the same in Rush as well, and that's a great way to handle them for the kind of level design this game has. I like how if you press down on here, it's just like, I didn't even have to press down, but it's just instant, like, skyrocket to the floor. I think it's hilarious. Like, your falling speed goes from like gentle balloon ride to Mega Man 1 on acid. It's hilarious. If you land on the balloons as burst, I'm pretty sure they become hot air balloons. Yeah, that's cool. I enjoy that. I'm doing so well gameplay-wise, aren't I? I'm just like king of the world over here. It doesn't help because I look up from the system to look at chat. Because I'm playing this on a DS, obviously, because it's a DS game, so... I'm pretty sure the homing attack in the Rush games, I know it's there, and I think it operates almost like the one from Advance 2, which is pretty unfortunate, to put it mildly. Like, that thing was worthless. It's cool that it was there, but like, it didn't do anything. What a strange gimmick that was. Okay, announcer guy. I wasn't really planning on giving up, but, you know, thanks, I guess. But on to the boss fight. The level lengths of the DS version are appropriately, like, similar to that of the Genesis versions of the classic games. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Your main goal in these boss fights is basically just building your boost meter up. Because when you boost into stuff, then you'll get usually a wisp that you can use. I really like these boss fights, though, and Sonic Colors. As a whole, I think Sonic Colors just had good fights. Like, across both consoles. It's such a fun game. I really can't say enough good things about Sonic Colors. It is flawed. Both versions have their issues. Man, I have a lot of lives considering how much I'm dying. Skip. Don't care about cutscenes in this playthrough. I really shouldn't skip. I don't skip in any of the other Sonic games, intentionally at least. But, like, I don't know, something about Sonic Colors, I'm just like, nah. We won't be skipping the cutscenes in the, probably because they're really boring. But I don't skip the cutscenes in the, console versions of games. And, I mean, I don't even know if this is the formal Sonic Colors DS stream. I'll probably end up streaming the game again later. After the Rush games, like, cause I'll try and get to them in more or less in order. We're going to be hitting Planet Wisp next, which is always pleasant, because I am quite the fan of this level on both versions. I do enjoy the fact that there's a mechanic of capturing the wisps. That's just neat. No, don't want to hear them babble at me, though. View the tutorial? No, thank you. This wisp does operate a little bit differently on the DS version of this game, mostly because in the Wii version it more or less handles identically to Nights from Nights into Dreams, which is cool, but in this version it's locked to 4 directions, which is a strange change. This is one of the few levels where, like, the music is vastly inferior to the original. It's still good, but it's the same track, like, it's not the same track, but it's the same composition as the Wii version. It's just not as good of a rendition of said track. And yeah, like I was saying, the drill is locked to 4 directions. I feel like they changed that in Lost World 3DS. There's a red ring, which I ignored because they don't do anything really in this game. They unlock stuff, but do we really care about that? The answer to that is a strong nah, not really. Not for the sake of the stream, at least. I'm never going to go for the red rings in the games that have them on stream. Not anything against them, but, like, I don't have every location memorized, and it would be such a pace breaker. Like, I'm not going to ever claim to be, like, 100% completionist when it comes to the Sonic series. If I get to the final boss, and I'm happy. Like, final boss in this case does mean, you know, the secret final boss of Sonic Colors DS. Which I will address when we get to it, because I do think we'll do it on the stream. This game's a little bit shorter than I remember, honestly. Can you please, Sonic? The drill is so stiff in this version. Nope. Okay. Maybe we won't, because I was not planning on hitting that Orbinaut. I'm so good at video games, everybody. As long as I can get 50 by the end of one of these levels, though, we'll still hit special stage, because that's how Sonic games work. Okay, well, maybe I won't, because one of the things about the DS Sonic games in general that always kind of annoyed me is the gap between the screens is addressed really weirdly. Like, the space between the play areas doesn't line up with, like, the gap in the some games have it set up so that, like, the gap in the screen is, like, an accurate representation of the space between things, which is fine. And some games have it where there is no gap between the screens and it just seamlessly transitions. That is also fine. This game does neither. It does, like, this weird, just empty space between the two that I swear is so inconsistent. I mean, it might just be me, because I haven't seen anyone else complain about that. That's something I have an issue I've had with what I've played of Rush as well. I did not mean to hit that, but that's okay, because we're getting another Wisp anyway. Yeah, it does not have the grace or fluidity of the Knights-style drill Wisp of the main Sonic Color game. By main, I mean the Wii version. I mean, to some people, this is far superior. I don't know why, but IGN seemed to think it was, which is, you know, they're IGN, reviewing Sonic games circa 2010. So, you know, I wouldn't take everything they say too seriously. But it's okay, because we did get the special stage in this level. Not that good. I got a B, but that's A-okay. So, switching to bottom screen, because, you know, that's how that works. See if we can get... I will have to go back in the end to get another Chaos Emerald, which is kind of irritating, but not enough that I'll, like, actively complain about it. Probably will, actually, because that's kind of what I do, but hey, that's alright. Fun fact, this 2DS came preloaded with Mario Kart 7, so that was fun. I like that game. It also made testing DS and 3DS settings really, really easy, because there was always a 3DS game in it, so I never had to take the DS cart of Sonic Colors out. Well, I used Sonic Colors and Mario 64 DS to test the DS stuff, and I just used Mario Kart 7 for all the 3DS stuff, because I don't know, that's what I did. There's a lot of 3DS stuff that's going to be fun on the channel, though. I do love me some 3DS. It is such a good console. I gotta say, the 2DS is a little more comfortable than I expected. The capture equipment does make it less comfortable, because there's a USB cable jutting out right where you hold it, but, you know, what are you going to do, right? I always could have just had one of my 3DSs modified, but I specifically chose against that because I wanted to ensure that I had just a dedicated unit just for doing content, because I know that these units tend to be pretty fragile. Mostly the micro USB port, granted, but still, I didn't want it getting jostled and moved around a lot. And now that won't be an issue because this is just going to stay at my desk in a drawer when it's not in use, with this micro USB cable in tow, as well as the aux cable for it. The music on the special stages is super good too. These are seriously some of my favorites in the series. I think my actual favorites are also in a 3DS, in a DS/3DS Sonic game. The handheld version of Sonic Colors has, or not Colors, I'm playing that. The handheld version of Sonic Generations has awesome special stages. Ironically enough, based on the Heroes versions, which are the worst in the series in my humblest of opinions. But you know, can't complain about good stuff even if it's based on bad stuff, you know what I mean? That's Chaos Emerald 4, actually. We do need to go back and get Chaos Emerald 3. I'll do that at the end. I'm not worried about doing it just yet. I did not mean to just do the top screen. So you got that awkward close-up of Sonic for just a moment. You know, just a little reminder of who your real Lord and Savior is here. Everyone knows you're not here to see some LyingTuna action. It's all about that Sonic the Hedgehog. Alright, let's continue with Planet Wisp. Also worth note, the D-pad on the 2DS is a lot nicer than I expected it to be. I knew the circle pad was identical, but I heard the buttons and D-pad were a lot worse. The buttons are a little bit, a fair bit cheaper feeling, but the actual D-pad is really nice. It's just less clicky than some of the other 3DS units, though, which I'm fine with. I love the, like, Foreman pickaxe. Miner, I guess, is what they're supposed to be. No, they're construction workers, that's Planet Wisp. The construction worker egg pawns. I don't like them as much in Generations where they act as, slicers because, you know, nobody likes slicers. But I do like them in this game. I think they're pretty charming. This is a game referring to both versions of Sonic Colors. Not specifically the DS version, although it does apply here. It doesn't really matter which version you're playing. Because the enemies and stuff are the same between them. It's just the overall gameplay and stuff that's totally different. It is definitely I still think an inferior game to the Wii version, but I do know that is a point of argument amongst a lot of people. It is one of my favorite games on the DS, if not my favorite, though. It's so much fun. Which does lead me to believe that I would very much enjoy the Rush games when I inevitably get to them. I'm sure I will. Again, the ground rails are such a strange mechanic to me in this game because they don't really serve a function. Like, in the 3D games, they obviously completely changed the way the characters handle, at least in the good 3D games. So, you know, that makes a lot of sense as a mechanic at that point. And in the advanced games, they were character-specific routes, basically, for Sonic and Amy. While in the Rush games, to my knowledge at least, they operated by letting you do tricks while you move at high speeds. In this game, they just sort of accelerate you. And that's all they really do. No, I do not want to hit that. Okay, well, too bad for me, I guess. Didn't really get much of a choice in that one, did I? But already moving on to the boss here. We are ignoring the missions, but they are actually really cool because various other Sonic characters show up in them. It is the thing that ties Sonic Color to the greater Sonic universe, but only in the mobile version. No, I wanted to have my attack your hand. God damn it. Okay. There we go. How do you use Drill Wisp against the guy in the air? I do not remember. I'm guessing he crashes through the floor. Nope, I didn't get a chance to hit him with that, so that was awful on my part. Oh, I can just go into the water underneath. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Zero rings, it's not going to go well for me. It did not go well for me. I was right about that. Apparently premieres were added to my channel. Why would I want to debut a video before it's out? That's not a great feature. Maybe I'm just missing something, but that seems like a pretty not great one for me, as subscribers will see when it comes out, assuming YouTube sub feeds are working that day, but that's its own can of worms. And half my subs have notifications on anyway, so like it seems pretty gratuitous, honestly, to doubly notify them. I will say, as technically impressive as the all 3D boss fights probably are, they don't look great. At least not in my eyes. They look kind of dated, which isn't, you know, the fault of the hardware or anything. It's a DS game. You know, I shouldn't expect perfection, and I don't expect perfection. But I do know what the DS is capable of. I've never been a fan of DS 3D stuff. Like, it looks good sometimes, but most of the time not particularly. Like Mario 64 DS is my favorite example of a game that on a technical level looks better than the original, but on a stylistic level, I don't think it looks better at all. I think it looks way worse. Why is the boss at full health? Oh, but this health bar goes down faster. I do not remember this. It has been a while since I played the game, as I think I've mentioned around 30 or 40 times. Not literally, but possibly literally. I don't even know anymore. No, let me hit ya. God damn it. There we go, actually dead. That only took about half an eternity. Man, that thumbnail is just a mess of a whole lot of my thumbnail for the stream, I mean. Just a whole lot of like stuff. I don't know. Just a little overbearing, I think. I'm trying to copy the stream link so I can send it to the channel's Discord, since I just realized I never did that. There we go. That tends to help. Okay. Laser Wisp, which is one of my absolute favorites. Except for in Sonic Lost World. Interestingly enough, I don't think they used it well in that game at all. It was all 3D, which was annoying, but not only that, it was just kind of useless. Like, you really can only use it in designated areas. I don't hate it, and it's talking specifically about the console version of Lost World. I genuinely do not remember if it's even in the handheld version. It very well may be in the 3DS version. I think it is, now that I think about it. I remember it being in 2D sections, but that might have actually been Generations. So, you know, I don't know. I like the fish versions of the scrap brain spinny machine things. I just think it's really funny that they did the same exact gimmick, but, you know, fish. But I do love me some Laser. Laser is a very fun Wisp, especially in the Wii version, but it's still pretty good in the DS version as well, if a little less versatile. Versatile, I don't know. I like both. I use both words back and forth, or both pronunciations, rather. I'm pretty inconsistent about pronunciations, honestly. It's not my strongest suit. Please, Wisp, thank you. So you can't move in diagonals with it. You are locked to 4 directions, which I view as a pretty lame hindrance. I do love me some homing attack, though, which works exactly as it should in this game, which is, you know, always a plus, a mechanic working as it is intended to. But in the case of Sonic games, that is sometimes saying something, and I missed beautifully because laser. So I guess we'll just run the laser route to make him get in there. Jeez, I suck at timing. It's a stupid transition from bottom of... Oh, nope, you can't. You have Laser Wisp. Okay, guess we're taking the peasant route. Hey, Sonic. Doing some DS content on the channel. That's a new one for me. I'm pretty happy about that. Just disperse the fish, you know, get them out of my face. Did not want to lose rings there because I do want to access the special stage. That's okay. I mean, if we have to replay this level, it would be a good one to have to replay. I like Aquarium Park a lot in both versions, especially in the Wii version, but it's still a lot of fun here. In the Wii version, I think it's like the best level, bar none. Like, just as a whole, the zone is the best one. And I do love swimming through the water with the Drill Wisp, even in annoying 4 directions, locked to 4 direction mode that you are stuck with in this version. And then you get to use Laser Wisp, and it's the best thing because laser's super fun. Have I mentioned that I really like the Laser Wisp? I don't even know what it is about it, because it doesn't seem like, oh my god, that Orbinaut took my rings. Well, I guess I lost the ring to the Orbinaut. Is more accurate. I shouldn't blame the robot that was just sitting there for my complete absent-mindedness, but I do blame the robot for it because I am just the kind of guy who blames everyone else for my problems, I guess. Not that it matters, we got 50 rings again, and we will likely lose them multiple times before the end of the stage because that just seems to be the way this whole thing is going. In the Wii version of Colors, they had the weird gimmick with the fish shields that like acted as underwater air shields, but also like, you know, they gave you your underwater breath, which made no sense because they were just fish. I think they did at least, but they was so weird. I always really enjoyed the Wii version of Aquarium Park, partially because I just don't understand it. It's odd, but partially because it is a legitimately very fun bit of gameplay. I forgot to switch the screen settings for you guys again. I'll get to it, I promise. But man, these special stages are so much fun every time, without fail. They are the only special stages in the series I actively really enjoy. And then there's the Lost World 3DS special stages that are the polar opposite, and I actually really like them, but they will be absolutely unplayable while I'm recording. There's no way I'll be able to do them because I'm tethered. I can have, I could do gyro aiming or whatever in, Ocarina of Time 3D if I had to. But, it's... When you're using a 3DS capture card, you are tethered to your computer with 1/2 cables, depending on your situation. In my case, 2. I have one for audio and one for video. So, I could do both through one cable, but it's really glitchy and sounds bad. Man, Sonic is fast in these special stages. I love the stylus control of them. It's so much fun. I mean, it's the only way you're able to do some of these like fast-paced maneuvers. But like flicking Sonic up, you don't actually have to flick him up, but I always do because it's really entertaining. No, I missed a bunch of. That would have been. That could be detrimental to a pretty disastrous extent. We'll find out. Nah, I think we got this just fine. Oh yeah, we got plenty of orbs. These really are some of the easiest special stages in the entire series. In the Wii version, I mean, I guess it kind of has special stages. It has Game Land, which this takes the place of. But like, I definitely prefer these over Game Land in terms of how to get Chaos Emeralds, honestly. They're just more fun. Because they are some of the only good half-pipe special stages in the series. I guess the Sonic Heroes ones count as half-pipe. Those are terrible, but the Generations 3DS versions are my actual favorite special stages in the entire franchise. And we'll get to those very shortly. Oh man, these are so satisfying to pull off. I kind of have to like pay attention to the special stage. So sorry for missing anything in chat. These are just something you have to like really focus on. I really didn't miss anything in chat. It's okay. Let's just have Sonic chill out up here though. Let's chill out up here for a sec. Nice. But yeah, we are gonna have to go back for Chaos Emerald 3. Hopefully, it's the only one we'll have to go back for. Because I mean, the stream's only at an hour, and we're like honestly approaching the end of the game. There's just not a whole lot to this game. This console. I mean, it's a handheld game. It's meant to be replayed and improving your skill and your score and doing all the missions. But I just don't care about that for a stream. I had done all that before I deleted my save file. For the sake of this video. Or not video, but stream. You can boost across water, but you can't run across it if you're not boosting. I don't know why. Like, I genuinely just don't understand why that is. I do like the way burrow bots work in this game. They are a lot more threatening than in other games. I think they're burrow bots. They might be the shark enemies. I'm not actually sure. Well, we activated the checkpoint, which is nice. Now we just gotta actually get up there, which is kind of annoying because sometimes the platforming in this game can be a little bit stiff. I actually think Sonic 4 controls better than this game, even though I know it runs on like the same gameplay engine. Like Sonic 4 Episode 1 specifically. Episode 2 controls better than Episode 1 as well. But like, I never have an issue with the controls of Sonic 4, even though these are super similar in terms of the physics and momentum and everything. I somehow find these a little more problematic. Well, that didn't go according to plan, but it's okay, because there's another laser. Man, laser's fun. I can't get over how much I love that wisp. It's like the only one that I'm like obsessed with. It should have been in Forces, but it's not. It's one of the only wisps missing in Forces, actually. Considering Forces has my favorite implementation of the wisps, even though like the game as a whole is like pretty like definitively the weakest of the boost games. I could have just jumped on those, I think, actually. I think you just jump on the platforms, but I thought you had to stomp until I realized that they probably wouldn't have intentionally made you take damage with no other way of progressing. And again, it's dimps, so who knows. Let's probably get some air. Well, I don't have that, now do I? Game, as you repeatedly tell me to use the laser wisp that I don't have. Wish I had the laser wisp. I always wish I had the laser. Laser's fun. But I don't. Stupid Orbinauts. They're annoying in this game. I don't get why you'd have enemies like Orbinauts in boost games, where you're like constantly supposed to be just mashing, not mashing, but holding the boost button, going as fast as the game will allow you to go. But like, oh, don't do it too much, or you will guaranteed get hit by these enemies that are invulnerable to all of your attacks because they're covered in spikes. Like, really? Is that the best way to handle that, dimps? I guess I answered my own question when I said dimps, but still. This part's kind of cool, though. It's basically just a grind rail hopping section, but instead of a grind rail, it's water slides. I dig it. And with that, we are almost at the end of Aquarium Park already. We only need to do the boss fight. No, I do not want to do the special stage again. Why would I do that? I forgot about this boss completely. I remember actually really digging it because I like anything that... Okay, I'm dead. I like bosses in Sonic games and any game for that matter that use your entire moveset. And this one uses the Stomp, which is otherwise pretty much unused in this game. Please successfully launch your thing so that I can... Or I can die again because I don't know how to do this boss fight. And I'm really tired. Now we got laser. That makes the game more fun by default. I do love me some laser wisp, I gotta say. Well, I guess I don't gotta say. I've said it about a billion times already, but still, I just did say. Well, that didn't do what I wanted at all, but oh well. You can launch your dudes at me anytime you want, dude. Come on. Please, hurry up. It's taking forever over here. Thank you. And I just, like, very skillfully killed him off in the same hit, as Sonic then plummeted to his death. But it's okay, because it counted, and that's all that matters. I don't care if Sonic died in the process. Tragic. It's always sad to see a hero pass away, but I didn't lose a life, and the boss is dead, so, like, you know, still a victory to me. And that's always what's most important. Personal victories. Alright. Yacker over here babbling up a storm. Yacker's an interesting design for, like, the wisps, because he's just a wisp with, like, a curly bit of hair. It's funny. But, like, man, he doesn't do anything. Well, Mike Pollock was giggling a little bit. Before we go on, let's go back to Starlight Carnival and get that third Chaos Emerald. I would have been happy to say damn fourth, but I didn't get the opportunity. We do have to complete a level. There's like no alternate way to enter the special stage. You do have to just we'll just restart. That was bad. You do just have to beat the level with 50 rings. There's like no alternative way of getting to the special stages in this game. Like, it's not like in the advanced, like in Advanced 3 where it's like you unlock the special stages and then you can just play them infinitely till you get the emerald, or in Generations, which also handles it that way. This game's like, yeah, no, you got to do it like Classic Sonic, but it's got a stage select, so it's pretty much, it's not an issue, you know? It's just, that's just how it's handled. Oh my god, I really hate sliding in this game. It never doesn't annoy me. Enemies are powered by wisps, like in lore, which is a good thing because it means destroying enemies tends to give you wisp energy, which lets you boost. And the game would be pretty annoying if it didn't do that, because relying purely on the wisp capsules would be just not so great, I think. I do not like the fact you have to mash B on those. I don't even know if I have to be done. I'm guessing you just sit there for a while. But mashing the jump button just, it's not super fun. It doesn't, like, it's not a problem or anything. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's more interesting ways to do literally anything, especially since it just leads to an automated transition anyway. Like, yeah, mash the button to make the automation take place. Again, I guess very dimps do a basic thing to make the game play itself for you. Like this. There I didn't have to press anything to the game's credit. It just took care of itself, which I guess is worse in theory, but, like, I don't know, man. I feel like no matter what, it's lazy. I do like the fact that boosting pushes things faster. Like, it's cool. I just want to reach the end of the level with all my rings intact so I can do the special stage and we can move on and finish the game. Because there really isn't not much left. There's one final, like, full zone, and also after this one more Chaos Emerald. Followed by pretty much just the final boss and then the secret final boss. Oh, of course I ran into an enemy who took all my rings. In a place where I can't even recover all of the ones that I lost. There should be enough rings before the end of the level, so it shouldn't matter. Yeah, there are. But still, irksome stuff. Wow, I missed every single one of those enemies. That's lame. But hey, we got the special stage, and that's what matters most. Yes, I'd like to enter Special Stage 5. I don't know why we're entering Special Stage 5, actually. I feel like we should be entering Special Stage, 3? Isn't that the one we missed? Maybe it does loop them. I know later on they're locked to, certain areas so you can replay whichever special stage you want, which I don't know why you'd ever want to replay one of the special stages. Like, they are fun, and they're, like, great for 100%ing and getting your top rank in, but, like, why would you want to play them again? Like, they're still basically just a mini-game, you know? I do love those little timing challenging ones where you have to, like, perfectly line up Sonic with, like, a series of the orbs. It's not difficult. Again, these are very, very easy special stages, but man, they're fun. Just hop in the corner and say, yeah. 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 We got bit crushed, Roger Craig Smith chilling out, making his audio screams at us. I don't know why I'm forgetting every single time to switch the screen settings for you guys. It doesn't matter. Again, I know. It's just I prefer to do it. Make the game look nicer. Well, not nicer. It's just more zoomed in, which actually probably looks worse. But still, all the actions on the bottom screen. You guys don't need to see that obscured and tiny. Man, those are fun to pull off when you finally get the hang of them. Wow, this is going awfully. I mean, I'm definitely good. I have enough orbs to finish it. I don't know how we'll do as far as the yellow, though. I don't think I've ever failed a special stage in this game. I mean, there's a first time for everything, and if I was going to for a first time, chance of it being while I'm live are pretty high, honestly. That does tend to be how I roll, but we'll find out in a few moments, I suppose. I was going to say in moment, but that's not how grammar works. I mean, I guess it is how grammar works incorrectly, but I don't roll that way, man. I like to sound like I at least kind of understand how English works. I was an English major for quite a while, after all, before I decided it was boring and switched to computers. But we do have enough orbs. I was afraid we knocked too many of them out. But as long as I get, like, literally any, because we're down, we just need 2. So yeah, we are golden to get the Chaos Emerald. Awesome. Thought it said we were doing Special Stage 5, but that was clearly Special Stage 3, given Emerald. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, no, it says 5. I guess that was Special Stage 5. That's okay. I don't know. It doesn't need to make sense. As long as we're having fun. 1, 2... Hang on, which one am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4... Do I only need 1 more? No, I should need 2 more, right? Let me make sure real quick. Go to the menu that has that kind of info. I mean, we'll get the Chaos Emerald here as well. Gotta touch the wisp. They made this one into a puzzle for no reason. Oh, come on. I'm just gonna totally fail at this all day, aren't I? I'm just gonna keep going with top right corner. My touchscreen needs calibrated. I'll have to do that after the stream. I mean, that's not a big deal at all. It's not affecting, like, the special stages or anything, which are the only thing where it could affect. But eventually I want to do streams of the Trauma Center games, or videos on the Trauma Center games, probably. And, that'll require use of the bottom screen pretty heavily. I like this level a lot. This is probably the only one I genuinely enjoy more than the Wii equivalent. Although the Wii version of Asteroid Coaster is awesome too. But something about the I think it's the Void Wisp. I just really like the Void Wisp. It's pretty good stuff. So is Laser Wisp, which is always a plus. I think I make it a little clear that I'm a fan of Laser Wisp. Like, I don't know how obvious that is for everyone watching, but it is just such a fun, awesome little mechanic. It's the one that sold me on the Wisps originally, before the rest of them kind of turned me off to the whole idea. I don't hate the Wisps at all. Like, I'm fine with them. I wish they'd stop showing up in every game, even though Forces did them really well by making them completely optional except for the White Wisps. And I'm fine with the White Wisps. Even if I prefer rings to get you boost, I do think the White Wisp approach was fine. Gold Pac-Man-ass dinosaur skull thing. I really do. Asteroid Coaster is such a cool, like, level aesthetic. It's so unique. And it's very, very Sonic. It does fit in with, like, what's established by the Sonic franchise prior. So it's not like some weird thing that's just, like, totally out of place. Which I'm not a fan of games that do that. Like, I like things to at least make sense in the... Like, I do think the Sonic series plays it way too safe these days. I was trying to not... okay. I am so good at video games. No, crap. I need to, slide there. Yeah, I hate the slide in this game. It sucks. If I didn't make that clear from the other times I complained about the slide. If you use Void Wisp here, it goes by a little bit easier, but I didn't, and then I died because I really don't like the slide in Sonic Colors. For the DS, it's just not a good mechanic. I wonder if there's enough rings for us to get the special stage. I'm guessing there isn't. But we'll find out, I suppose. You know, as we progress through the stage. There could be 30 rings, actually. That's not like an astronomical number. There's enough. Gotta... Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be good on rings. Assuming I don't die again. That doesn't help. Alright, I died again. I shouldn't have said anything. I just have a tendency to state things in my streams and be like, yeah, I'm confident about this good thing happening, and then it always goes bad. Because, you know, I stated a thing while I was live on the internet. I have to look dumb after doing that. Like, such is the way of the universe, I think. I activated Void way too early. Yeah, that worked. This section's funny. Just hop between the sections of the roller coaster. It's all for rings and stuff, like, there's no enemies here or whatever. So we can just sort of chill and... Well, that's just it, we'll just chill. No need to do anything too hectic and crazy. Whoa, that was awesome. Sonic Colors is such a good game. It really is. I shouldn't blame the game. I'm not blaming the game. I'm being totally sarcastic. I'm really tired if that's not apparent. Do we have enough time to make it? Yeah, we did. Nice. That was dope. I'm proud of that. Probably shouldn't be proud of it, but I am. And then I made the exact same mistake because I mistimed the homing attack to make it away from that. I'm really good at video games. Let's see if this time we can actually, like, survive this thing instead of dying like absolute buffoons and basically making ourselves look like idiots. We're gonna go back one because then the launch will put me onto the spring or onto the coaster. That also works. I don't really care where it launches me as long as I don't die. And hey, that was enough to get another special stage. So that's pretty good. That level took us forever, though. It was an abysmal performance on the stage, but hey, we got what matters most, so let's continue. I love how precise Sonic's movement is. Like, you see that, like, nifty little dodge behind the spikes? You could not do that in literally any other Sonic game, but in this game, it's not even hard. You can just sort of wiggle wherever you want Sonic to go. It's super cool. Trying to think of where else we can even get a Chaos Emerald, because there is one more after this. I didn't think Terminal Velocity had one, but I guess I'm wrong, because apparently it does. And I am too lazy to switch the thing to bottom view because I just forgot about it until now. So, meh. We are very low on orbs, and we do need to get more. That should help pretty substantially. Plus 10. Yeah, that did a lot of good, actually. That did not help, though. Okay, we're fine, though. Bound to mess up at some point during one of these special stages. And, like, we still have enough. Like, I don't even care that we lost orbs, because we still have a ton. Like, we're still surplus. We have, what, 2 more than we need, which isn't awesome. Now I can switch to the launch screen. There we go. Alright, let's see how this one goes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else, like, really praise these special stages but me, though. I mean, I'm sure others have. It's just not something I see often, you know? And it is deserving of a lot of praise, I think. These special stages are just an absolute blast, while not being difficult. I like that in a special stage in a Sonic game. Like, I want to be able to get the Chaos Emeralds, not be, like, completely unchallenged by it, but, like, you know, I want it to be reasonable and fun. That's all I ask. I wonder if was this game released on the Wii U Virtual Console? I know some of the other stuff that I plan on streaming through here was on the Wii U Virtual Console. Would probably look better through it. But, like, and I own on there. And there's stuff like Ocarina of Time 3D that I can only do on here. That I guess I don't necessarily need to ever record, but, like, I want to, because I love Ocarina of Time. Cool. Way to go, Sonic. You're good at this game. Well, I guess I'm the one playing it, not Sonic. Sonic didn't do anything wrong. He was kind of the victim there. I'm just the victim of my own lack of any kind of discernible skill. At least the music's still dope. This track makes it pretty much unscathed into this version of the game. I mean, I get that it is hard to compress audio to sound decent on the DS, so I'm not blaming them for that. It's just, I don't know. It could be better, you know? We go through. No, I wasn't ready to go through yet. I needed to get that other void thing. Well, I guess I didn't need to because it went fine without it, but still. Oh, cool. I got a red ring for accidentally skipping a roller coaster. Go me. I'm great at Sonic. The weird thing for me whenever I'm watching like gameplay of the Rush games, like, you know, I watch the Great Clement Let's Play these games, you know. And the weird thing for me is always watching the heads-up display. Damn it. The heads-up display move with Sonic, like, to the top screen, to the bottom screen. I don't know, it's just weird to me. Like, I get why it does. It makes sense. You kind of need it. But, man, the hitbox on that dinosaur head is massive. I don't know, it always just struck me as, like, kind of odd. Like, just when watching it. It doesn't bother me when I'm playing, obviously, because, you know, I'm playing the game. That's not what I was trying to do. I thought you had to attack him, but you just have to dodge him. I'm foolish. There's a shocker, right? He's gonna keep attacking the middle there, bud? Yep, that's exactly what he did. Alright, then. What was the wisping? There was a wisp in the Wii U version of, damn it, the Wii U version of Sonic Colors that was essentially the same as Void. It was an asteroid wisp, I think. Which doesn't actually make any sense when I think about it, so it might not have been asteroid. But there was a wisp that had the exact same function as Void, and I'm pretty sure it's implied to be like the non-corrupted Nega version of this wisp. But then again, this wisp is represented in forces, so whereas asteroid isn't. No, I want to... Oh, God, I missed. Whatever. I just don't want to take the roller coaster. It's boring. Act 1 of this zone's a lot better than Act 2. It's basically the moral of the story there. I do like catching myself by hitting the wisp button and activating Void. That's pretty fun. I gotta give credit where credit's due. It's very entertaining and very well handled. You are still susceptible to being crushed when using Void, so don't get cocky in areas like that, where it would be kind of easy to get cocky. I'm dead. I'm dead, yeah. I almost didn't die. I thought I could make that almost, honestly. But I couldn't. You gonna actually do something different this time, Dinosaur Head Man? Alright then. Nope. That was grand. Good job. I beat the level. I did terribly, but it wasn't because of Dinosaur Head Guy. Dinosaur Head Guy wasn't very efficient at all. He's a very, very poor killer. Just a very depressed Sonic. That cracks me up every time. But okay, we are on to the boss here. Whoa, Sonic, nice work. I didn't do all that great, Tails. I don't know what you're, what exactly you're complimenting, but thanks anyway. Excuse me, just punching my mic cord there. It was unintentional. I'm sure everyone could guess that, but still. Please slam, thank you. Do we just siphon his health away while we're up here? Yes, we do. Yeah. Alright then. With a ton of slowdown, this is running very, very poorly whenever we do this. Alright then. Well, he'll be dead very, very shortly. This boss is pretty simple. Cool. At least we get a nice close-up view of how cool our Wisp guy is. Oh wow, we ate the boss, huh? Neat. That's probably an S rank, yeah. Unintentional one, but hey, who am I to complain? Answer, I'm not complaining. So, that works out. I know, we freed all the things, and now we gotta do, terminal velocity, which is a very good level. So I guess we gotta get 50 rings in terminal velocity in order to hit the special stage, I guess? I don't know. Otherwise, we might just have to play a random level and get a special stage. I don't remember, but I feel like it's tied to which zone you're in. And I know we did the other zones correctly. This level's kind of tough. It's an overhead level, which is interesting. Just follow the passive rings and you will be fine, but there is a constant thing attacking you, so you'd better be boosting the entire way through, and that makes it pretty hard. Yeah, like you will get immediately hounded if you aren't boosting, like that just happened. And like you run into stuff all the time, and it's really hard to get rings, so I hope I don't need 50 rings. Again, I have done everything in this game and gotten the Supersonic ending. I don't remember if there was a Chaos Emerald here or not. I really hope there wasn't. If there was, it'll be absolutely horrible to get. Come on, thank you. Alright, we have 50 rings. Can we make it to the end without getting hit again? No, we can't. There we go. We just got hit once again. And our rings fell on us for good measure to mock us. We did not succeed at all. I'm not pleased with that. Can I reset that? Restart. Please don't restart at the boss. It restarted at... Okay, good. I thought it restarted at the boss for a second. I looked at the YouTube stream. I was like, but no, it's just a couple seconds behind. Sorry for being like really quiet. I'm like hyper focusing to try and make sure we can actually pull this off. Yeah, my focus went for nothing. It was worthless. The focus of a distracted man is not good focus. Okay. But at least it's an attempt. You do draw on rings when you're boosting, much like in the console version. But yeah, this is like really tough for me. I'm just bad at it. I don't think you get a special stage from this, but I don't want to find out at the end that I'm wrong about that. You know what I mean? And there's more than enough rings for it, so it would not surprise me if that's what they were going for with it. Restart one more time, because I just don't want to be wrong about that. If nothing else, Terminal Velocity does have awesome music, so, you know, that's at least good for everyone at home watching. Can you, like, not be right on top of me, please? Thank you. That actually is Eggman, who's hounding us and chasing us through this, which is kind of cool, actually. Like, I actually really dig this final level. It's just, it sucks because I'm trying to do it with 50 rings because I don't remember if it gives you a special stage or not, and I don't want to look it up, so we're just assuming it does. And Sonic is very sluggish in this area. Like, he doesn't move responsively at all. So, like, I can slow down for a second here. Okay, speed up again because the dude's catching up. The dude being Eggman, of course. Okay, there's Eggman. Speed up a little bit. Okay, now we don't have the option of speeding up because we are out of boost energy. But I think we're just about at the end. I hope we're at the end because I will not... Oh my god. Damn it, that was really good until then. It was really good until I sucked. Yeah, if I seem like nervous and antsy about this, it's because I genuinely can't remember if it gives me a special stage or not. It shouldn't. It would be dumb if it did. But then again, I wouldn't be shocked. And I do want to get to the final boss, because I think I remember the final boss of this game being pretty cool. And you do have to have all the Chaos Emeralds to get to the final boss. It's all they function as. You do not unlock Super Sonic for free play in this game like you do in the Wii version of Colors, which is highly unfortunate because I really like Super Sonic. I think he works incredibly well in Boost Formula games. If we're going to get a Chaos Emerald, it would be after the fight. We shouldn't get hit during the boss fight, but we very well might, because it's not a difficult fight. I don't know. Not too worried about it, except for this one attack here. And I got hit and lost all my rings, so, yeah. Hopefully I didn't need to do that, because otherwise... Oops. As his 5th rocket, he launches himself up, just boost into him. That's what you have to do, is basically boost into Eggman 5 times, representing the 5 different wisps. It's a pretty cool fight, actually. I think the Wii version is better, but then again, this isn't the final boss in this version of the game. It is the penultimate boss, so I guess it doesn't need to be super amazing. And now just Frenzy is left. Or not Frenzy, sorry, Void. Frenzy's the Wii version that has the same face. I do like the music here, though. It's like really good. I love the orchestral remixes of games that they did in this era of Sonic games. It's super good. Wait, I think we actually have to go to... Hang on, let me Google how to get the final Chaos Emerald real quick. 'Cause I know we didn't beat the game yet, and we are skipping credits. Yep. Cool. Do we have to sit through the credits? But we didn't finish the game yet. We do have to beat the game before we can do anything else. Okay. We have to go to Game Land in Versus mode, which can be by ourselves, and win with at least 50 rings. Okay. This is a very good track, though, at least. So here you guys can see what I'm talking about, where the like screen scrolling is off. I think like the you can see the divide between the top and bottom screens here, you know, and they don't flow very well between the two. And you'd think, yeah, well, the DS has had a big old gap between the two screens. They did indeed, but it depends on which system you're playing. It doesn't look as bad on like an original DS or a 3DS. Like on a 2DS, which has a very, very thin gap there because of the way it works, where it's one screen that's just divided into two by a bezel, basically. It looks real bad. This is a really good track, though. I kind of forgot it existed. I always do, but I really like it. This is one of my other stream settings. I'm just going to show them off. Because here's OBS, which is what I'm running everything through. Then we got... this is just the top screen. And 3DS for 3DS stuff, which is why it's got the big black bars on the side there. 3DS stuff with both screens. Again, the black bars on the side are because it's widescreen when you're doing 3DS stuff. And then this is a setting for 3DS stuff, like if I want to have the mini-map open here or whatever. For some of the Mario games and stuff. This is just the top screen of the DS. Obviously, the aspect ratio is adjusted appropriately. This is what we're going to be using for the rest of the stream because this is what we've been using the whole time. This is the alternative for DS games. Again, your Marios and stuff where there's a mini-map on the bottom. If I want to actually have that displayed for the sake of clarity, I can. And then just the bottom screen. Yeah, my initial impressions of this 2DS capture unit are really, really positive. Just in case anyone wondered. Man, I'm exhausted. I've been up since like 8 a.m. I need to go to bed. But anyway, we're going to finish this game first. The only issues I have with it are essentially the placement of the capture unit itself being... ow. Not ow, but I hit the side of the thing and it was loud and it hurt my ears. The placement of the actual capture card on this unit is a bulge on the back of the 2DS case, which is fine, except it is right where your hand lays, which means the USB cable comes out of the side. If it was just there, I wouldn't even care if the cable came out the top, but it doesn't. It comes out on the side, which is very uncomfortable to hold, although I got really used to it really quickly, so it's not that bad. But it could be better for sure. You know, maybe I will say screw it, because we could have gotten the last Cal somewhere before the credits. I thought I had to beat the game. I was wrong. So I think I'm just going to call it a stream. We're at like almost 2 hours. That's about the average stream length. I had fun. I like Sonic Colors for the DS. And I hope you do too. And the stream served its intended purpose of testing this hardware pretty well. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. If you guys had fun with it, you can always leave me a like, you can comment on the archive, or you can subscribe. We had pretty big subscriber growth last week. It was countered by a sub purge. I actually emailed YouTube like, what the hell? And they were like, your channel got hit with a sub purge, it looks like. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I lost a bunch of inactive subs, but hey, I got a bunch of actual subs. I got like 11 last week from one stream, which is huge for me, being a small channel like I am. So that was very pleasant, and I'd like to see that kind of growth continue. Maybe not like that, like rapid, but I mean, I wouldn't complain obviously, but like I'm not expecting that because it'd be an unreasonable thing to expect. But hey, I will see you guys next time. I'm just gonna let the credits roll, then I'll end the stream. Bye everyone. Unless I see someone in chat, then I'll talk, but till then, bye.